Yo, so I'm back again to talk about some more stuff. It's April 3rd, 2020. And what is on my mind right now is being able to tell the difference between someone's perspective and someone's process message. Why this is important right now is because most of us, if not all of us, are now only able to get information and intelligence and what we might think of as perspectives from things online. There is still a degree of being able to collect and hear other people's perspectives on the street, but there's social distancing going on right now, so you can't be that close if you are following within the prescriptions of society at this time. And I'm in the United States, but it could be happening worldwide in similar fashions, or perhaps even more extreme fashions. Now, perspective. When I talk about perspective, usually if we're talking with friends or something, we can gather their perspective because they'll be talking about things in unguarded moments, which an unguarded moment is essential for real communication because it includes vulnerability and an intimacy of perspective. They're just telling you how they see it. And in those situations, you can discern and you can see. And when I imagine hearing somebody's perspective or collecting somebody's perspective, I am imagining myself in the physical world next to somebody, not only hearing what they're hearing about what they're seeing, but also kind of feeling it too. There's an empathic quality to collecting somebody else's perspective, and this is an intelligence, by the way, that has to increase even for empathic people using online, because we don't have the physical body of somebody else next to us that is emanating very, very important emotional data. We're not particularly evolved for that, but if you're good at the internet, whatever that means, and to like increase your competence in internet communication, you better get better at learning empathy. And I'm talking to myself here. You better get better at learning empathy through digital media. All right, so if you're in the old world when we used to congregate in real life, and to the extent that we can still do it in our homes with our families, you can collect somebody's perspective simply because they're talking about what they're seeing. And these are, I would call, pure perspectives. Even if they're someone who likes to push things in a certain direction, and you can understand that about them. It's these unguarded moments between friends in healthy sociosexual relationships that are really, really, really important. They're the most important because they're the highest quality, and you can actually collect a real perspective to add to your own. On the other hand, an impure, I would call it at this point, perspective is one with a process message. And process messages deal with the Hegelian dialectic of thesis, antithesis, synthesis, which means that there's a bank shot going on. A process message is usually used in entertainment and television media, and this includes the news, where something is going to be told to you so that it bounces off of your perspective, and your reaction is anticipated so that it creates this third thing. And the third thing is the real intended message. It's not what's being said, and it's like a process message is created by like in a game of pool or billiards, where the pool cue is shot at the ball, and you're this wall that is being your projected reaction is this wall right here, and they shoot the ball at you, and it hits here, and they're really the broadcaster is attempting to shoot this ball at you so that it bounces off of you and goes into the position that they want, or like it sinks into the pocket behind you. It's, you know, and it's hard to sometimes figure out this bank shot that is always happening with television and news media and all sorts of media, because it's not just television and news media. It's all sorts of interests that know about the process message, and this is not conspiracy theory. Understanding what a process message is something as fundamental as TV 101. Seriously, open the most common textbook used in TV 101, and you'll learn about what a process message is, which includes this kind of Hegelian dialectic. Now that we understand these two things, what I would call a pure perspective and an impure perspective, which is something that a message that's being sent to you with a process message intended and included in it, is not, it's not a true perspective. It's intending to change your perspective into something else. Be mindful, especially at this time, of the difference between a perspective that you can gather from an individual and a process message that's being shot across to you. And even be mindful that it could be being used by me right now. What am I doing? Am I sharing my perspective? Or do I have a process message included here? And I anticipate your reaction, whoever you are. And am I trying to shoot the ball into some other pocket via a bank shot, if you can understand that metaphor, if that's clear at all. So basically, there might be perspectives that are totally pure, and I think in the past month there have been moments where there's the necessity of realness, because people are having to change so much that they're moved into the lowest spot in the Maslow's hierarchical pyramid of needs, or whatever it's called, something like that, which is survival, which is like, I got to do things because they're basic to my survival. And I know that some of my communication in the past month has been realer than ever, and I would say in those moments certainly was I putting across a pure perspective without some kind of process message that is meant to create some other kind of aesthetic. And yeah, so basically what I'm talking about at this point is be aware of that, and there certainly is a spectrum between a pure perspective and a process message. Why this is very important is because you want to have a true and pure and accurate vision of what's going on in the world. You don't want to be deceived. You don't want to be marionetted by so many causes that are just meant to use you because they're still in the second circuit of finite resources in territory that there's a war going on. You don't have to fight in the war, especially if you are smart enough with language to understand that with data and information, as human beings who can pass such things back and forth, both on the ground and in virtual contexts, that is an infinite resource. The infinite resource we have is data and information. And I don't just mean data and information as it's measured by computers. I mean wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That is the stuff of the perpetual motion machine of consciousness throughout all incarnations and manifestations. So, my prayer today for you is that you can see the truth, understanding when you are collecting a true perspective and when somebody is just passing information to you to get you to be a certain way that's hidden. Understand that there are differences there, and that there is a spectrum, and that your communication channels be super, super, super high quality, and truth is seen by you, and you can move into a future that's truly awesome, transforming itself out of the process messages and the lies that may be coming to you. May you see the truth. That is my wish for you today. Amen.